going to kick off the much anticipated session, the panel discussion. And the topic of the discussion is the development and the challenges of China platinum industry. My co-worker, also from WPI, Mr. Zhang Wenbin, will be the host for this session. In our China Platinum Week, there is a special booth for the souvenirs, and it is not a giveaway products. You can go check it out by our venue, and these souvenirs include the mugs and the other daily consumables, and you can take photos, send it to the WeChat group and the WeChat Moments, and you will be able to get this gift. Okay. Now I'd like to introduce the panelists for this session. First of all is Ms. Chu Li, Principal PGM Market Intelligence of APAC from Anglo American, and the second speaker, Zhao Wenjian, the Deputy Director of the Precious Metal Department of ICBC. And the third panelist is Yang Tao, the Deputy General Manager of Sino-Platinum. The last panelist is the Director of the Board of the Gansu Jinchuan Precious Metal Company. Okay, welcome everyone to today's panel discussion. You can see the title for our panel discussion is the opportunity and challenge of China's PGM market. And you can find from the titles of the panelists that this panel covers all the links in the value chain. So let's start with the first link. The first question goes to Grace Chu from Anglo American. Well, I'd like to first of all tell you a little bit about Anglo American and Grace Chu. Grace Chu now is the principal PGM market intelligence analyst of Anglo American. She has been working in the commodities market analysis for over 10 years. Actually, we have already known a lot about Anglo American if you have attended yesterday's session. Today, we also have invited the leader from Anglo American to give a presentation, so you would know that Anglo American is a comprehensive PGM company that covers the wider scope of the value chain. So as a prominent PGM company, what are the businesses of PGM in China? Okay, thank you very much, Wenbin, for introducing me. Thank you for inviting me to the event. Well, you must have already know a little bit about Anglo American, but still, something more maybe you need to know. We are a global mining company, and the main business is the PGM, copper, nickel, and the high-grade iron ore and the coke coal. We are also working on the agricultural nutrition products.
Regarding PGM, Anglo America is the leading supplier of mine globally. We have always been committed to providing safe and responsible and reliable products, so that we always keep supplying of the products first. We supply to our customers quality products at affordable prices, and we provide security guarantee. We have fast-tier platform to provide safety. We ensure the sustainability and stability of supply. We also provide to our customers authoritative industry insights to help them master and get the hang of the opportunities of the industry. Let me give you some concrete examples in terms of logistics platform. We used to direct ship from South America, but starting from the last couple of years, we have a repository in Hong Kong, which guarantees our fast response to demand by Chinese mainland customers. In terms of helping our customers to control risks, we provide our customers with forex hedging solutions. And in terms of pricing, we are more flexible in the way we price. We price on the basis of monthly average price as well as a forward delivery price. In the Chinese market, as was mentioned by Danny this morning, PGM and PGM market, our PGM market team has been exploring the boundaries of, or has been pushing the boundaries of PGM. I'm sure you have more understanding of Anglo America and what we do in China. Thank you. Thank you, Grace. You have always said that your company's mission is to make our life better with PGM. My next speaker goes to Mr. Zhao from ICBC, as you are responsible for precious metal fundraising and financing work. You have over 3 decades of experience with banking. In 2019, you joined ICBC Precious Metal Division, serving as its Vice General Manager. If you are familiar with the Precious Metal Division of ICBC, it was founded on the 9th of September 2019. Back then, it was the first precious metal certified agency, or a certified precious metal agency. After decades of development, you have very diversified precious metal product lines, and you have won numerous awards. But I'm not going to go into details here. My question is, what kind of services does ICBC and your department provide regarding PGM? Thank you for the question. I think PGM's development in China enjoys very broad prospect, as China is experiencing industrial transformation and upgrading, and with the application of new materials and new energy, PGM is used increasingly in industrial processes. ICBC has been following China national government's call that finance and financial sector has to serve the real economy, in particular in the transition towards low carbon and green. So we are actively involved in the PGM market growth and development in China. Currently, we provide 4 aspects of services. Firstly, as a financial member of Shanghai Gold Exchange, we provide to clients with the need to trade PGM, such services as agency and brokerage services. Say such clients want to trade via Shanghai Gold Exchange. On one hand, that meets the needs of customers. On the other hand, we always make sure that our clients are up to date about the best preferential policies most recently released by Shanghai Gold Exchange. Second is about warehousing, because we are one of the main suppliers of the warehousing services of Shanghai Gold Exchange. In Beijing, Shenzhen, and Shanghai, we have 3 agency warehouse, and all of the warehouses are capable of providing such services as opening up a deposit account for your PGM. In other words, we give you more depositing and warehousing choices. Thirdly, we provide to our industrial clients a service of leasing of PGM, and in particular platinum. Currently, our clients have strong demand for borrowing or leasing of platinum with the industry's further development, and we are one of the few Chinese suppliers that commercial banks that's capable of providing such services to corporate clients. And fourthly, we have a professional risk control team that are able to do regular analysis, and we provide our analysis reports via our WeChat official accounts on a weekly basis, so that we have constant and frequent exchange with the industry. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Zhao. My third question goes to Mr. Yang Tao. Well, we know that you have been working for your company for many years. You have a rich industry experience. As you know that his company, Sino-Platinum, is a listed company in terms of the production, processing, R&D of platinum and PGM. Your company has accumulated rich experience with nationally key labs. So I would like to ask this question to Mr. Wu Yang. What's your view on PGM? Well, as a leading supplier of products and technologies of PGM, Sino-Platinum, what kind of innovations and breakthroughs do you have currently? Firstly, a few words about my company. My company was converted from Guiyang Precious Metal Research Institute that was founded as early as 1920s. In the 1960s, due to national strategy change, the Kunming Precious Metal Research Institute was given the task of doing R&D and production of precious metal, in particular PGM, filling a gap or vacuum back then. So in 2002, our company was founded, and in 2003, we were listed in Shanghai Stock Exchange. We are one of the leading players in China in terms of supplying PGM. We supply not only to end users in China, but also we have international clients based in Europe, America, and the entire world. As we are converted from a research institute, we pay very much attention to technological upgrading and developing new products. And this year we boasted a couple of breakthroughs. For example, one of our catalyst, China 6 catalyst, is able to make an entry into the PHEV market, and we have the #1 market share. And our PGM catalyst materials are able to be used at scale. LTCC, electric matte, and some older generation catalysts we are able to be a substitute for internationally imported pairs. We also have gene engineering for rare and precious metal. We specifically have a high throughput lab platform, and we also have a professional database that we are currently using. So much from me. Thank you very much. The last question goes to Mr. Cao. Mr. Cao was also a panelist last year during Shanghai Platinum Week. But before asking the question to him, I need to give you an introduction of Mr. Cao. He is from Hunan province, a province known for the boldness of the people. And yesterday, you attended a banquet sponsored by Bai De Jin as well. You are familiar with Jinchuan, but I think I need to give you more introductions about Bai De Jin. Bai De Jin is a brand founded by Mr. Cao Huoju. It's a privately owned company working on the production, processing, deep processing, and smelting of precious metal. Your collaboration with Jinchuan represents the marriage of two strong players. So I just want to continue our momentum that was established last year. Last year, you introduced to us your company's plan regarding PGM, and you have been carrying out the plan. So I would like to ask you, what have been your deliverables? Have you ever encountered challenges or difficulties? What are the challenges that you have in mind in order to tackle such difficulties and challenges? Well, I was very honored to be invited last year because I used to work on gold and silver because I'm from Hunan province. I come from a city known as the silver capital of China. So I've been in this industry since I was very young. I attended the Platinum Week for the 3rd consecutive year. I've grown together with this event. Last year, I talked about our plan, and this year, I want to report to you that our plan is gradually in shape after 3 years of efforts. A few words about Bai De Jin, the company I founded. Actually, I co-founded the company with Jinchuan before the Jinchuan's taking a joint venture partnership. We were based in Hunan. We have a processing system with a fire method. We have EAF as well as converter. We have smelting. So after fire method, the feedstock then goes into the fine processing system. Our capacity last year for rhodium was 1 ton. The rhodium that we produce, actually we are a latecomer into the PGM markets, and Guiyang Sino-Platinum is a very early entrant into the industry, so we always learn from them. We have been working with Sino-Platinum for several years. Such partnership has been quite beneficial beneficial to both of us. We plan to carry on with such good partnership. Regarding Jinchuan, again, Bai De Jin, we are a privately owned company, so we have our constraints in terms of understanding your policy, in terms of access to resources and capital. It happens that Jinchuan, the listed company, see potential in us. So last year we founded a joint venture called Jinchuan Bai De Jin in the city of Jinchuan. Actually, the products we produce are the same, but Jinchuan has resources, they have assets, they have mines, and their tailings, by the way, as they had limited capacity in the past. So we managed to form this joint venture in order to address such constraints. And we have plans to set up a branch in Hunan together with Jinchuan, as Jinchuan is a member of Shanghai Gold Exchange. So all the gold that we produce goes directly into Shanghai Gold Exchange. By De Jin, we do recycling. In other words, we turn waste into treasure. Well, to put it simply, we get our raw materials from spent auto fire ignition parts, because when you need to change the spark plug, you will also find ruthenium, iridium, as well as rhodium. We have an exhibition stand outside if you're interested. Basically, all of our feedstock are from spent auto parts. Going forward, we might further extend the compounds that we do, because for the couple of years, our compounds compared with Sino-Platinum, we fall far short. Sino-Platinum is leading the pack by a great margin. So what we do is we have platinum water electroplating and rhodium water electroplating and etc. But we have very limited scope of products, so we keep learning both from leading players in China like Sino-Platinum as well as internationally competitive players. There's still a gap, but we have advantages, of course. Now, undoubtedly, China is a large consumer of PGM. However, for the past couple of years, state-owned and non-state-owned companies started to pay more attention to recycling, including Jinchuan. So I think with our efforts, with our unremitting efforts, the gap will be narrower as we make more technological breakthroughs. Thank you very much. We hope that your corporate strategy can be carried out in a smoother manner going forward. All of the panels come from leading players of the PGM industry. They all see opportunities, but I'm sure they have their own problems, or they have seen problems that are looming in the background. So the next round of discussions will focus on questions, concerns, and the problems. Again, Mr. Zhao from ICBC, do you think what kind of challenges commercial banks face in terms of PGM innovation?
We are pretty new to the PGM market, but still we have already carried out much business with our clients. We are in close contact with our clients as well. In the PGM leasing business, we have seen some of the many very detailed situations. So first of all is the Chinese market is still lacking the hedging tool for the platinum and palladium and other PGMs. So when we carry out our work, we have to go overseas to hedge against the risks, or that we have to take the risk in with ourselves. So this is not to the best practice in our banking sector. So my feeling is that there is still a shortage of the hedging tools. And the second thing is in terms of the form and the weight of the platinum, it is still not meeting up the demand of the clients. In terms of the weight, for example, the platinum we get from gold exchange, although they are standard weight, But while our clients use this platinum, there will always be a shortage, which means when they start to use the platinum, a lot of problem will come up. So although there is a clearing mechanism of a shortage in the exchange, but it will cause extra trouble for the clients. So this is a little bit about the weight and the form or the shape of the product also has a problem. Well, the ideal shape is sponge platinum, and the standard weight of the sponge platinum is close to the ideal level. So sponge platinum is the best shape, best form. It can be used in the production directly. It doesn't need to be grinded. So that is the second thing. Another point I have observed is the circulation of platinum have not closed the loop. Well, if the platinum leasing happens in the exchange, after using this platinum for one cycle, well, after the waste catalyst gets recovered back into the platinum, it cannot be transacted on the exchange. It has to be, first of all, sold out and then use the money to buy the first time PGM. So in other words, this whole cycle is not a closed loop. These are the three major issues we have met in our business dealing with PGM. Thank you very much. There's always two sides to one coin. These are the problems for ICBC, but for the companies like the exchanges or the producers of PGM, it will give you opportunities. And then the next question goes to Mr. Yang. So what do you think are the key shortages or bottleneck of the PGM industry in China? Well, I would like to place a disclaimer here. All I said is my personal opinion. Thanks to the policy and also the demand of the platinum, China has become the largest consumer of platinum. But there are indeed some of the bottlenecks or challenges. The statistics show that in 2022, the PGM industry demand has reached 110 billion RMB. It's also the largest industry consumer of platinum, but the iridium reserve is really low. It's very low. It's only less than 1% of the world reserve. So the supply security is a big issue for us. We are highly dependent on import. I think this will be a big opportunity for Chinese companies as well. These Chinese mining companies can totally go overseas and find the mining opportunities there. And then in terms of advanced equipments and manufacturing and advanced material, domestic company is still lagging behind overseas company, like the next generation platinum alloy, the catalyst for the next generation renewable energy, and the platinum material for the electronic industries, for the computer chips and the chip packaging and PCB. So I think these are the areas that need to be improved in China. Okay, thank you, Mr. Yang. So, PGM is what we call the minor metals, but they are also highly valuable. They are of cutting-edge technology. So investing in PGM is also equal to investing in high technology. Okay, the next question goes to Mr. Cao. Based on your understanding of the market, how should the other industry players do to seize the opportunity? Well, in the past few years, more companies are getting in this industry because the price of PGM soared. But this year, we have already seen that some company, because of the cost issues, or because they haven't hedged against the risks, they suffered quite considerable loss. So I can feel that they are already a little bit frustrated about PGM. So I personally find this market very interesting. I think the situation we are facing now is just temporary. I mentioned China is a large consumer of platinum, but Since it's a market-based economy, people seek profitability, so the profit will be consumed within the industry as the competition landscape gets worse. When the market is down, then the company need to look internally, look at the management, look at the recycle and the reuse of platinum. So my advice for all the survivors in the market is you need to handle the risks. You need to pay attention to the risks. First of all, it's the risk of law and regulation. You should never step on the red line. The second is financial risks. Because the financial risks is highly vulnerable, the company finance is highly vulnerable to the risks in the PGM and even gold market. I'd later want to also consult the experts. So the hedging and the risk management should be carried out within the domain of law and regulation. And if you're running the factory, you should focus on the safety of production. You should also heed the risks in terms of the goods and transportation, in terms of the finance and capital. Now we are in the low point of the market, and only in this opportunity should we take the time to strengthen ourselves internally. And when the next big opportunity came, we can totally seize it and fly. Okay, thank you, Mr. Cao. So the PGM market in China should not only be independent, but we should also learn to borrow the momentum from overseas. So on this point, I would like to ask Ms. Chu, since Anglo American has a global presence. So what are the trends or what are the things that Chinese players can borrow and strengthen ourselves? Well, just as ICBC mentioned, compared with the overseas market, domestic market doesn't have such a diverse hedging mechanism. For example, we don't have a futures market to hedge against the risks. We don't have enough hedging tools. So the way of transaction is it's too simple, it's not as diverse. And also when the market is going down, it's continuously going down, then if there's no hedging, then if you are only able to long your transaction, then it will put all the players of the industry in a disadvantage. So we would really call for a hedging mechanism in the exchange and in the futures. Also, compared with the overseas market, the leasing and rent and mechanism should also be regulated. And the interest rate of the leasing should also be more standardized so that the more players will be willing to use the leasing as a way to manage their stock. Okay. One common keyword from all these panelists is a risk. So the players, when they are making transactions, when they're buying the stocks, they face the risks of price fluctuation. So last year, we got the presence of Guangzhou Futures Exchange, and they are already pushing the launch of the platinum and palladium futures contract. Actually, tomorrow in the morning session, we have invited the leaders from Guangzhou Futures Exchange to talk about their latest progress of platinum and palladium futures contract. So in this regard, since Guangzhou Futures Exchange is going to launch the futures contract, so what is your expectations and advice for this drive? Well, first of all, our industry is really all looking forward to the futures exchanges to open the contract. It can give us a hedging tool to manage the risk. Well, it is not existent in China. So small companies, they or small companies, or they can maybe handle. But if it's a large company, they have to do it overseas. They have to do the hedging overseas, and they cost them a lot. And also, if there is no futures exchange, there is no such a futures contract, then the small handlers of the precious metal, like if they're only handling a few grams, then they have to rely on the market. They have to rely on their luck and fortune, basically. But for me, I think if such a futures contract can come out as soon as possible, then it would be a great news for all the players in the PGM industries, such as in the jewelry or for the producers. So the futures has a few functions. One is the hedging to reduce the risks of price fluctuation. The second is for investment and to keep the principal value. The third thing is to improve the liquidity. Actually, palladium and platinum, the liquidity of the transaction is very important. It is a little bit difficult to launch the futures contract for platinum and palladium. But if the whole industry can join this cause, if we are able to take our part in this progress, for example, our company will definitely join this efforts to push the launch of futures contract of platinum and palladium. It is very timely for Guangzhou Futures Exchange to launch the futures contract. It will totally promote the development of PGM in China. So with that futures contract, we have a hedging tool. We are able to manage the risks. Also with the derivatives like this, we can develop a pricing mechanism, effective pricing mechanism. Since China is the largest platinum and palladium consumer, and China can increase its influence on the pricing of platinum and palladium. Well, my expectation are, first of all, we hope Guangzhou Futures Exchange can invite more commercial banks to join the PGM futures market, and it can improve the integration between the physical economy with the banking sector. Actually, across the country, there are over 20 national banks joining in PGM business.
ICBC as well as CCB Construction Bank of China have set up as certified or a licensed agency focusing on precious metal. They have business license. They also have a relevant financial certificates. I think the Guangzhou Futures Exchange should encourage commercial banks to join as a corporate entity. But more importantly, the exchange should encourage commercial banks to join as professional licensed entities, because that helps addressing a lot of invoicing and tax issues, which will contribute to the development of the market. And another thing is when Guangzhou Futures Exchange launched or listed the two contracts, all the products will be more standardized in terms of their weight, size, and appearance will be more in line with the industry standard. That will help facilitate the development of the market as well. Grace? Thank you. I echo with all of the previous speakers. I sort of echo with them a lot, because I think the founding of the Guangzhou Futures Exchange is an exciting event for all the players in the industry. I hope that there will be more liquidity after the exchange is founded. I hope they can provide more industry standards. Of course, responsible and reliable product origin will lay a foundation for future sustainability. Also, we pay attention to how overseas participants can participate in Guangzhou Futures Exchange transactions and trading, because that undoubtedly will inject additional liquidity into the market. China is already the biggest consumer of PGM, so I think the platinum and palladium futures listing and trading on the Guangzhou Futures Exchange will give China a greater role to play play in the international markets. And also, I hope that the futures exchange will become a key hub of platinum and palladium futures trading in the future globally. Many thanks. So all of the panelists represents will have expressed to us their institution's expectation about the Guangzhou Futures Exchange, but more importantly, it represents industry consensus. We will soon wrap up the panel discussion, but before conclusion, the last question: what will be your expectation for Shanghai Platinum Week? Because this is an annual event that provides a gathering space for everyone to have thorough discussions. So this year we have the third edition of Shanghai Platinum Week. I think it represents a very good bridge connecting domestic and international players. In particular, after China's COVID restrictions are lifted, we see this year foreign participants, which is something that didn't happen before. Of course, I'm aware a lot of international participants having the desire and intention to come to China, but they were constrained by practical matters. But I hope that this event will allow foreigners to have access to the latest information about the Chinese market, knowing what changes the market has gone through and what is going on. Another thing is every year in May, we have a London Platinum Week where people gather together, discuss the hot topic issues in the market. So I hope that the Shanghai Platinum Week will continue to be a stage and be a hub for Chinese and international players. Thank you, Mr. Zhao. I think as China further implements its dual carbon neutrality and carbon peak goals, PGM have already become some sort of a strategic material for China. So I do see a bright prospect for PGM, as China is already the largest consumer of PGM in the world. And I think the Shanghai Platinum Week just provides such a wonderful platform for exchange, for partnership building, for collaboration opportunity seeking. In particular, as someone from the banking side, as a layman, every time I attend these high-level conferences, I have lots of takeaways. So I just want to express my best wishes to Shanghai Platinum Week with the development of the platinum and palladium futures markets. I hope the event will be of greater success in the future. I hope it will become a global brand with international fame and international influence. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Zhao. One sentence. Shanghai Platinum Week, I think, starts off on a very good starting point. So I hope that it will become a greater success, showing China's characteristic, and I hope it can compare or even compete against it. It should not be compete, but on equal footing with the one in New York and London. Mr. Cao, the Platinum Week is an international event, and undoubtedly I'm seeing more foreign faces compared with the one that was held last year and the year before last year. I have seen the team's organizing work and the hotel that we're in. It's a better venue compared with the previous two editions. So I just look forward to future sessions because I do see greater success for the Shanghai Platinum Week in the future. A lot of people say that this year's event is a platform, it's an occasion for friends to meet offline after we have long discussions online, but having never met with each other. Again, I'm sure that with the support of people in the industry, the event will be of greater success one year after another. Thank you very much to all the panelists, and thanks to the audience as well.